Hey everybody, Todd here, your host for Keeping the Lights On. Just a real quick note before we get going here. So the platforms we use, Spotify, Apple, Audible, and list of 100 others, YouTube. While Spotify and YouTube and a few others have comment sections in there, and I look at every comment that comes in. I appreciate them all. It may just make it a little tough to have a back and forth conversation, and I still don't really know who you are because everyone's got a different avatar and username and all that. So I want a better way to communicate, to understand who you are, how I can serve you better as a podcast producer and host. What guests should I have? What topics are really important to you? Has the show helped you or not helped you? Could I have asked a better question somewhere? I'd love to have that out to you, and also a way to just let you know when new stuff is coming out, new ideas that we're working on. So I basically want to build a group, just an email group that we can have a conversation here so I can understand who's listening to the show. So I'm going to put a link in the show notes to go to fill out a form. You can opt in, opt out if you get tired of it. If you think I'm spamming you or something, I plan to do one, maybe two a month. Say, hey, a new show's out. Here's some restaurant recommendations. Here's some topics I'm working on. Or you can go to graybar.com/podcast, graybar.com/podcast, or click a link in the show notes. I am going to talk about this a lot here for the next few months of the show this year, 2026, to really get some people on there and so we can have so I can get to know you and you can get to know me a little better, and we can build a better community around the show. So appreciate all of you who are out there who support the show by subscribing and rating it. Keep doing that. But if you could help us out and join that list, and like I said, if you want to get out, it's easy to do. So thank you all. Let's get to the show. Hey, keeping track of time on the job site has been a contractor since the very first days of electricians and any contractor. Certainly, software, lessons from over the years has helped streamline this task a bit. However, it can still be very challenging for it to happen in the timely and accurate manner that it needs to get done in, so that the team, you, the company, can get paid accurately and the invoices get created to bill the customers. It can be a nightmare sometimes, especially the bigger the job, the more people coming in, lots of variability. So this is where my guest comes in. Shawn Ryan, CEO of BuildTime, is a company with the roots in electrical contracting and has a team of both software developers and experts in electrical contracting. Shawn and I will be discussing the challenges facing contractors tracking time accurately and ideas on how these challenges can be overcome. Before we go any further, let's learn a little bit more about Shawn.
First, I'm a man of faith. As mentioned, I have a family of 4 kids. I love my family. They're at the top. Yeah. I'm a go-getter. I like to get things done. I'm not afraid to just jump in and tackle whatever needs to get accomplished. Okay. I love to run. I'm a photographer, and that's top of the list. And I like good coffee.
So welcome to Keeping the Lights On. I'm your host, Todd Reed, and on this podcast, I connect with the owners and pros who design, build, and maintain our electrical, communications, and industrial world to explore the best ways forward. Let's get into the show. So I like to start out each episode with the meals that bring us together.
Yes.
So Shawn, if I were to visit you in your hometown, where might you take us, and why would you choose this place?
Oh man, I'm going to have a good time with this one. First, I'm going to start with where my family goes on Friday nights.
Okay.
Taqueria del Sol in Atlanta. We've been there. My wife and I were eating there on Friday night at 5:30. 20-something years ago,
and awesome.
We're still there to this day.
Great.
I generally tell people if we're not there, check the local hospitals.
Wow, that's great.
Eddie is amazing, and we've known him for some time. He always prepares us a little something on the side, and he runs a good business.
That's fantastic. So do you have some? What's your favorite thing to get there?
Favorite thing to get there, I look for the specials.
Okay.
And otherwise, I've got an assortment of tacos I'll pick out, and Memphis brisket. The fish is amazing.
That'd be good.
But his specials are over the top.
Like the street taco type of style thing, is that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's a second part to that.
Oh, okay.
Which is work.
Okay.
And this speaks to electrical contractors in Atlanta.
Okay.
So, you brought about the meals that bring us together.
Okay. Yep.
we were founded out of an electrical contractor firm called Allison Smith. And
Okay.
when I came to join them, I quickly learned that they are regulars as well. They are creatures of habit just as much as I am. And so there's about a sequence of 5 restaurants that you can find their team rotating through on a regular basis.
So again, if you're looking for someone, have your list, go through the restaurants.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
At
Blue Moon's
lunchtime.
Pizza, it's McRae's. We got Tokyo Sushi. Some are even in walking distance.
Oh, that's.
And the interesting thing is, of the Atlanta electrical contractors, there's 3 or 4 of them represented there on any given day of the week.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
same restaurants.
Okay, so when you're traveling, you look for the contractors, the police, and the fire departments, and those.
You
where
need
those
the basics.
people go.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
So of those, so it's relatively new to Allison Smith and speaking, but so which of those do you like best of that cycle?
They're all good in their own likes.
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
a sushi guy.
Okay.
If I'm going to make the call, I generally will. We'll let the team, different folks make a call. If I'm going to make the call, I'm going to pull us in for sushi.
Default, yeah. All right. What are the biggest challenges facing electrical contractors when trying to accurately track time, hours on a job site?
It really comes down to the complexity of the job site.
Mm-hmm.
The foreman, supervision, their focus is the job at hand, is the crews that they're responsible for, and leading their team. Getting bogged down in administration, the nuances of recording people's time, the nuances of recording their time accurately according to the union rules, they don't need that burden.
Yeah.
And secondly, it carries all the way through to payroll. I mean, if you think about those union rules and recording time accurately, recording it according to the union rules, and all that getting all the way through to payroll for a small or a large electrical contractor, when it's coming in spreadsheets or on paper, that's cumbersome.
Yeah.
And timekeeping, you said something when you asked the question about seemingly simple. Absolutely. Any of the restaurants we've gone to, everybody's clocking in, clocking out. It's on the surface a simple problem. When you take it into a construction environment, it gets complicated.
Right.
And it gets complicated for the reasons I just mentioned. The job site, the nuances of the job site, the size of the job site sometimes, and then second, the application of union rules.
Well, let's touch on that real quick. So how do those union rules and compliance requirements complicate the timekeeping process?
Very simple. Signatory electrical contractors are bound to pay according to the CBA.
Okay.
There's a definition of straight time, premium time, overtime, double time, all of the above for everyone that's showing up on the job site.
Okay.
So imagine putting the burden of accurately recording time according to those different categories on the foremen that are also responsible for their crews productivity, for their crews safety. It's an administrative burden.
Yeah.
And, I didn't mention this earlier, but I'll mention it now. Timekeeping in construction has not changed since the 1800s.
What? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it hasn't.
It's crazy.
There's a museum at the bottom of the Biltmore Museum.
Okay.
It's a construction museum.
Oh, that's cool.
And we have a picture of it, of a foreman from the 1800s. I forget what year it is.
Oh, man.
And his timesheet. And if you look at the spreadsheets used today by leading electrical contractors, the spreadsheet and the paper version from the 1800s look exactly the same.
Wow.
So it's time for a better answer.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I'm just sitting there thinking about even if you just had 50 electricians on a job site, which is big, but not as big as many, that's 50 variables there.
That's right.
How well am I tracking my time? How
That's
well
right.
are you? Yeah, that's crazy. So, okay, this is great.
Just show up on time, what time did you leave? Where was your time spent on these projects are big, right?
What were
It's
you
cost
doing?
tracking as well. Phases.
Right,
There's
right.
different phases of the project.
Yeah.
And accuracy in pay means a lot to the business.
Mm-hmm.
Accuracy for the purpose of cost tracking mean a lot for tracking the project's health, and also your future project planning.
Yeah. I said there's 50 variables, and then you inserted all those extra time, different kinds of time, and then you insert all the different kinds of job, and your tree is growing quickly.
Exactly.
Here. You mentioned how it's very similar from the 1800s to now, and I feel like this question is obvious, but so maybe can you describe how traditional methods like spreadsheets and paper, they're falling short in today's construction environment? Maybe spreadsheets, right? I mean, really.
There's still a good bit of paper
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
surprisingly sent in photos from the phone to payroll.
Wow. Okay.
So, I don't want to dismiss it, but spreadsheets, what are the challenges with spreadsheets? Uh, it's really not much different than paper. The foreman has the burden of tracking someone's time. When did they arrive? When did they leave? What phases did they work on? And then also categorizing their time according to the different payrolls. And an error in the side of noncompliance according to the union rules means significant fines.
Right. Right.
That's
Yeah.
all sent into payroll. So, we're talking one job, imagining one job with 50 people. You've got companies with 1,500 crew members in the field
Yeah, wow.
across, 30, 50 jobs.
Yeah. It's not just
Right.
one job.
Right. And then how many foremen? If you've got a 50-person job, you've got potentially 10 foremen submitting time for 10 people
man.
each. So payroll is on the back end receiving, okay, we'll give them spreadsheets. They're receiving spreadsheets from every foreman. And they have to verify everything, verify its accuracy according to the union rules, and make sure pay is out on time.
Right, you've mentioned a few of the impacts, inaccurate time tracking, and I'm sure that people listening who do this on a day in, day out basis could call me in right now and say, hey, there's 50 more. But so what are some other impacts it might have on project progression, payroll, overall business profitability?
That is a fantastic question. When you think about payroll, I already mentioned the complexity of receiving a lot of spreadsheets. Accuracy in time means a good bit to the bottom line. Right? If the onus is on the foreman to just record after the fact or during the matter of a day, when their entire crew arrived and when they left, often it's just going to be the easiest thing to write down. You're not going to get accuracy in your data.
Yeah.
And so you're erring on either overpaying or underpaying. And if you think about some simple math, that can start to add up, right?
Yeah.
And that has an impact on the bottom line. But more so, I want to emphasize the nature of productivity and safety on the job site.
Okay.
If the foreman is busy doing paperwork, they're not focused on their crews. And if they're not focused on their crew, then they're not focused on their crew.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
If you're not planning, and if you're not leading, and you're doing administration, your crew is left on their own for a minute.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, and I know safety is, well, both of those topics are huge and for different reasons. So interesting. Okay.
And the bottom line conversation for business leaders is a real thing. I mean, if foremen are just rounding every day, or which is going to happen. It's simply because, again, it's a job site. There's construction happening, right? There are a large number of people arriving and departing work, right? It's just simple to write down. All right, everybody got here at 6, left at 2, whatever the shift definition is.
Yeah.
And we need an easier way to track time so we can pay people accurately.
So what inspired your team to develop this new solution for contractor time tracking, and how is it different than the existing solutions?
The inspiration, for my team, this is something we've inherited. We've been entrusted with this.
Okay.
The foundation for BuildTime came from the leadership of Allison Smith.
Okay.
And we're really proud of that. If you look at the tagline we have, by contractors, for contractors.
Mm-hmm.
Allison Smith leadership is, sharp set of guys, Georgia Tech grads, running a business with 1,500 contractors in the field. And they sought out for a better way to run their business. Okay. They were 100% spreadsheets.
Yep.
And all of the complexity of the job site was something they were facing.
Okay.
They did the right thing, remarkably the right thing. They pulled folks out of the field, out of operations, out of payroll, into a user experience lab.
Oh, great.
And it's their mind share, their leadership that defined the requirements along with the output from the user experience lab to meet the complexities of a job site, to deliver a solution to better run their business, to make the field more organized, simplify the tasks for the foreman, and simplify payroll. So the inspiration came from our founders.
So I like that user experience concept there, bringing in all the different parties that it matters to. So can you maybe talk just a little bit on that, how you approach that design and user experience to ensure that the solution truly meets their needs?
Absolutely. There's a leading user experience firm in Atlanta called User Insight.
Okay.
And the Allison Smith leadership, through a connection there, I've leveraged them in the past in my software career, made the connection, and they did the right thing. Most of us, even software people, we just go to writing code. Hey, we know what to do. We'll write some code. We can, we can fix this. No, they actually went into the user experience lab, took people out of the field, out of the office for an entire week, brought in experts in human factors, just experts who can really study, the people that were doing this job on a day-to-day basis, to understand and apply, and build a model to solve the problem. So, the approach they took was user experience first.
Yep.
That gave them wireframes. That gave them a framework for a prototype. Todd Grossweiler, Mark Gallagher, Chris Reichardt, Jason, the leadership of Allison Smith, Mike Miko, they wrote the detailed requirements. Here's the rules for processing pay. Here's how you have to apply the different union rules. There was so much of their time that went into building BuildTime. So again, I huge props to my team. We came on at the beginning of this year in full force. We were 3 people at Allison Smith before I joined. We're now up to 12. And we've been entrusted with this to bring it to market. And Allison Smith did it right.
Maybe what were some of those hurdles that were encountered that surprised the team, and maybe were a couple of the solutions?
It's some of the things I mentioned, right? I mean, for the team, it's the nuances of the job site. It's the complexity of union rules, the differences in CBAs nationwide that we have to build a framework to accommodate and to be configurable by our customers. So, and those were tackled head on.
Yeah. So can you walk us through how the system automates compliance with union rules and simplifies the process, if it's possible to simplify it?
I mean, how do we do it? I mean, first, in the field, just go through the field, what happens in the field first. We make it easy for the foreman. They scan people when they arrive. They scan people when they leave. They can scan people's badge when they're changing phase codes on a project.
Okay. Yeah.
They do a daily review of time where they can reallocate according to the different phases. That's the cost tracking side of it.
Okay.
And then they do a weekly review of time before they submit payroll. Their job is to review flags. Anything that's flagged is anything with manual intervention. And our system applies the union rules. When they've set up the project, when they set up BuildTime for the first time, they define their CBA rules in our framework, and we do the math. We calculate it on a regular basis to ensure accuracy, and we give 2 checkpoints. First, it's the foreman's responsibility to check. They're ultimately responsible for their crew's time. They click submit to payroll, and the second check is payroll before processing payroll. They do a final review.
So can you, I'm sure many of our listeners understand this, but can you just help clarify for me? So we're in Chicago right now recording this. You're from Atlanta.
That's correct.
So I assume there are some differences in the union rules from here to there, right? I know that NECA and IBEW nationally work together to work things out, but I think locally, is that true that each one has different rules, right? Each municipality and chapter.
Yes. In each CBA, there's Category 1 and Category 2 language.
Okay.
There is a framework that is somewhat common, nationwide, but there are significant differences.
Okay.
When it comes down to the details.
Yeah.
So a number of those rules, again, you configure it in our system for your CBA. Our customers, we give them a tutorial about our union framework. They look at their CBA and the application of those union rules and the application according to the projects that they're running.
Okay.
You configure it, and we process pay.
Okay, great. All right, so organizational change and company culture keep coming up in my interviews, and also because I'm super interested in that, so I bring that up. But so what features or technologies have you implemented to make onboarding and daily use as simple as possible for the crews in the field?
It's a great question. One of my when I joined in January, one of my first hires was an instructional design specialist. I want to give a shout out to Amy McIntosh, who has joined our team early on in the process, and from a design, she approaches learning as humans learn, right, and in a way to understand the personas, to understand how we learn and different approaches to learning, and as a whole, art and science to building learning material for our customers. And so, that's one place I'll start. From a technology side, we have taken a product-led growth strategy. We're trying to make this, our intent is to make this simple to find, discover, use, and adopt. We have a tour online that you can sign up, run through a basic tour of our product.
Okay.
We offer a 90-day trial for our customers to come in, and there is learning material available throughout that process. We have humans, of course, on the other side, ready to help.
That's nice.
Right? You're not just going to be greeted by AI or chat bots. I mean, they're there.
Good.
But we have humans on the other side to help. But we're instrumenting the process so someone can be self-sufficient in the discovery of BuildTime.
Yeah, that's great. And I assume like each person's going to need a little different kind of training. Like HR is going to be a different approach than foreman.
Payroll, super foreman, absolutely. I'm cutting you off right there. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
You're right. You're spot on. The second part you asked about the which led to my conversation about the learning journey is company culture and organizational change. Fantastic question. And change. Nobody likes change, and we're in an industry where people have been in the field for a long time and have done it always the same way.
Yep.
So, change has to be meaningful, right? And what I wanted to comment on though is the company culture. If you look on our website, we have testimonials from Whitehead Electric, and some of those were recorded in the past couple of weeks before we launched the company.
Okay.
And what was extremely powerful was when Chris Foster mentioned that it changed the culture of Whitehead around accountability, and it's no longer that crews responsible just to the foreman; they're responsible to themselves. And he really spoke highly about the impact it had on their business. That was quite powerful.
Yeah, you love hearing stories like that, right?
Yeah,
the work you
it
do.
didn't come from us. I mean, I told my team as we left that recording, I said, if we wrote a script for him, it wouldn't have been that good.
Yeah, this is real. It's not made up.
Nobody likes change.
Yeah.
From the start, we have stories from our team in the beginnings of the rollout at Allison Smith. Nobody wants change, but I would tell you, the foremen that were the most resistant from the start are our biggest advocates today.
That's very,
And, I have the stories from, Pepper's our lead developer who was here doing the initial rollout of Allison. His stories are fantastic.
Yeah.
About, just getting into it with some of the foremen and discussing some of the change. And they're our biggest advocates.
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty common. It seems like they're your biggest. The hardest ones at the beginning are the best ones at the end.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And if technology is not helping the people in the field, it's not working.
Yeah. And I think that's why people probably hesitate, because they're like, oh, great, another software I can spend my time on and then throw away in a week.
And it's listen,
cool.
Same thing on our side, running our business as we build this business.
Yeah.
We're stepping in wisely, trying to be as wise as we can as we bring technology in.
Yeah. Allison, I know you're separate from it, but
That's right.
I interviewed Leah Mack from Allison Smith, and every time, and I've interviewed Todd too for the show earlier, a couple years ago. There seems like some interesting things there at the culture of Allison Smith that allow for this kind of thing to happen. New technology, new training, new ideas to flourish. So it's pretty cool that this is happening from them. It's not surprising, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So
it's great to be a part of.
So we're here at Chicago at the NICA convention. There's, I don't know how many booths, hundreds of booths here with new software, new tech. So any suggestions you might have for, other contractors out there who are looking to implement either this software or any new tech into their organization workflows? What are a couple things that you come out and say, think about this, think about this?
Step into technology wisely, right? And Second is, look for a level of transparency and a level of openness. We have, as mentioned, we put a tour on our website so someone can come in and poke around without any commitment, looking at, it's a simplified version of the software, but just to get a feel for some of the basics.
Okay.
And then offer a free trial, no commitment, 90 days. Try it out. We've found with our early adopters, they are starting with single projects, deploying our tech on a single project.
Okay, yeah.
Running in parallel, right? I mean, payroll, you got to be accurate. You've got to be accurate. You've got to be on time. So start out slow, feel it out within your company, and then you can roll out from there. Yeah. And the adoption has been awesome. Of course, obviously, Allison Smith is running a very large company in payroll for quite a number of people. With data that's coming out of BuildTime. But if I look at our early adopters, some of them have been all in. I mean, I truly have received phone calls where I've just checked in with some of the early adopters to see how they were doing, not expecting, we're live. Okay, one project? No, 100%.
Okay.
Okay, really?
Wow.
Thank you.
Shawn, I like to close out the conversations by refocusing on the why of what you do. So what motivates you to do this day in and day out, and what keeps you excited and passionate about what you do?
That also is a great question. I have, it's inspiring to see technology work, to see it really support people in their day-to-day job. It is also, I'm inspired by the people that we serve. Okay. All of our early adopters, a couple things that have excited me. These are family-run businesses. They've been in business for a long time. They've grown with the demands for electrical work. And there's a complexity to managing the job site. And as we've come in to serve them and seen their success, again, they're coming back to us. And, we're hearing some great stories from the field and for the operation of their business overall. We are unapologetically located in an industrial park as a software startup. Okay. We're not in an ivory tower and some, really cool tech hub, although we're close to many of them in Atlanta.
Sure.
But we are in an industrial park next to the people we serve. Okay. And that gives us a level of accountability. Mm-hmm. We don't just come up with an idea, walk out of the conference room, all right, let's go get it. Yeah. We walk out of the conference room, we walk across the street, say, what do you think? And sometimes we walk with our tail between our legs back to the office to try to rethink it. Yeah. Other times we'll get validation. Awesome. Right? And so it's good to be around the people that we're serving.
That's great. Hey, Shawn, thank you. I know it's a busy time here. Yes. You're talking about your software here, but so thank you for taking a few minutes out of your time to share your ideas with us and the listeners. So thank you for that, and have a great rest of the show.
I appreciate it.
Yep, thanks.
Great to spend time with you.
Yep, thanks. Well, that was my conversation with Shawn Ryan, CEO of BuildTime. You can connect with Shawn and what BuildTime is working on by heading to the links in the show notes. Hey, I would love to hear what you've done to overcome challenges faced with accurate time tracking and management. So you can email me at podcast@graybar.com or leave a comment in Spotify or on YouTube. But even better, remember I mentioned we're creating a newsletter group, a briefing for listeners and so we can kind of communicate back and forth. I can get to learn to know you better, know what your challenges are with time management, what you're doing to overcome them. Did you hear something in the show that was helpful for you? So I'm building that group out so we can get to know each other a little better, let you know when new shows are out, let you know what I'm working on. Restaurant recommendations from the guests will be listed there as well. Again, you can opt out, opt in, whatever, when I get you going. If it's too much for you, I plan it once a month or maybe twice a month to send that out to you. But you can do that and subscribe to that list by going to graybar.com/podcast, graybar.com/podcast, or again, there'll be a link in the show notes. Hey, if you've enjoyed this episode, you can also help us grow by subscribing and leaving a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, follow us in your favorite podcast player and YouTube. Thanks for listening to this episode of Keeping the Lights On. We'll see you next time. So what advice would you give to 18-year-old Shawn?
I have 4 kids, so okay. I think about this question a good bit. It's a challenge, raising kids in this day and age, and I think about myself back then as well. Yeah. So, number one, I'm a man of faith, and I want to teach my kids, trust in the Lord. It is going to work out. It is going to be a journey. You're going to learn a lot. There's going to be things that go well, things that don't go well, but yeah, stay strong.